I'm excited to be able to share this particular tool with you. As an ambassador looking for a speaker, this is one of the biggest challenges that ambassadors come up against, because they're always looking for somebody who can speak on different topics on a weekly basis. But the hardest thing is to know who they are and are they willing to travel the distance to come to your chapter. On the other side of the coin, speakers want to have an audience. And so we've created the perfect marriage. It's real simple, it's real basic, and we're going to make everyone's life really easy. So here's how it works. As an ambassador, you have to be certified to be an ambassador, obviously, but the only way you can see this button is if you happen to be an ambassador in Successful Thinkers Network. You click on this button called Speakers. It takes you to a list of speakers in order of pay it forward. First and foremost, I want you to know that no matter who's in our system, no matter where you find a professional, you're always going to find the professionals at the top based on pay it forward, the ones who actually bring in the most members, you refer business, attend meetings, check in. Everything that someone does inside Successful Thinkers allows them to get credit for supporting Successful Thinkers, bringing people into Successful Thinkers, which supports you, and so forth. So right now what you see is not alphabetical order on the left-hand column. You see the people that have brought in the most members into Successful Thinkers Network / referred business, checked in at events, filled out their profiles, etc. Obviously, this is critical for a speaker to have their profile filled out. Now, there's various ways for you to find a speaker. One is you can just scroll down and in not alphabetical order, but in pay it forward, so you can see that these people are in exact order of their contribution to Successful Thinkers. So you can always pick a speaker that way. The second way is you can just type their name in. So if I'm looking for someone that I know, like Faith, for example, there she is. Then I can just click on her name here, and then all of her information, like mine, will come up, and you'll be able to learn all about her and what she speaks on, how far she's willing to travel, and so forth. You'll also be able to see this particular box right here. It says total engagements and average rating. Now in this case, I will have the most, and the reason for that is because I have spoken probably hundreds of times in Successful Thinkers Network over the years, but in this case, I was able to at least put in 60, okay, with an average rating of 5 stars. So you can see the number of engagements, and actually what's really cool, every speaker that has actually spoke somewhere, and they have a number up here, whether it's 1, 3, 5, 7, whatever it is, you can click on the engagement button at the bottom, and it takes you to the page so that you can see all the different places they've actually spoken at, okay, which is pretty cool. I'll go back to the page that I was on. The average rating is based on what the ambassadors currently rate the speakers as in terms of how they follow the guidelines. Are they giving nuggets of gold for the audience, etc., etc.? Is the audience engaged in their topic and in their speech? Eventually we'll have the rating done by the members, but right now it's only done by the ambassadors. And any ambassador in that chapter can rate you. Also, the stats bar. This is a pretty cool bar because it allows you to see the different speakers, how many times they've spoken, just going down the list through this speaker engagement bar. Now, these are not accurate because there's some speakers that should be in our system that have more engagements than they have right now. Currently, it's based solely on the ambassadors that have put them in the system. So the speakers will need to get back to the ambassadors to remind them what locations they spoke at so that they can get credit for it. The speaker ratings, this lists the speakers based on their rating, okay? And of course, as other ambassadors start to rate the speakers, they'll show up in the column as well. So now that I'm back here on this page, I'm going to take you to the tool that's going to change your life and make it very easy, and how the speakers are going to really truly benefit from this tool. So here we are. So let's say we don't know the name of the speaker. We don't want to go through this endless list of speakers based on pay it forward, but we do want to find the speakers. So what we can do is we can control the distance in terms of what somebody's willing to travel to go to your events. If you just put any in there, the challenge with that is there are going to be speakers that aren't going to be willing to travel to your event. So let's say a speaker has put in that he or she's willing to travel upwards of 50 miles from your zip code. I'll put in my zip code, and then I'm going to choose a topic. So I'm going to pick marketing advertising. I'm going to click go. And so what's happened is a couple things happen automatically. Number one, the speakers are listed in actual pay it forward, their contribution to Successful Thinkers. So through the inviting of new members into Successful Thinkers, referring business, so on and so forth, which is fantastic. So you can see the level of participation in Successful Thinkers. You also know that all of these people are willing to travel based on a 50-mile radius to your chapter. So you don't have to guess whether they're willing to travel. If you want to expand your search and see if you can include some more people that are willing to travel upwards to 100 miles or more, they're within that travel distance because you've got your zip code and we have their zip code and we know how far they're willing to travel because they actually type that distance in there. So then I can click go again, and now my list has gotten larger just based on the fact that I expanded my reach to 100 miles, knowing that these people actually are willing to travel because it's in their bio. So I'm back on my bio. Let me show you how far I'm willing to travel. It says maximum distance willing to travel is 150 miles. That's not actually true because I've traveled in the entire country. So that's why I've been able to speak in so many different places. But bottom line is if somebody is only willing to travel 10 miles or 15 miles or 30 miles or 100 miles or 1,000 miles, those are the only people that will show up in the sidebar when you're actually using the search tool. So back to the search tool. Let's say I want to try to find speakers that are in the category of personal development. Okay. And I am looking from my chapter zip code that are willing to travel 25 miles. These are the people that are willing to travel 25 miles. If I want to expand it to 50 miles, these are the people that are willing to travel 50 miles, and so on and so forth. And the cool thing is that, again, these people are in pay it forward. If you want to try to find people based on minimum engagements or minimum rating, you can type in the number that you're looking for. There's so many different ways to actually use this tool and to really benefit from it. But now let me show you one last thing that really excites me. So I'm going to open up another tool. And let's say I want to pick Gary Massari. I happen to know Gary, obviously, but what if you don't know Gary? And you want to know why is he at the top of this list? It's really going to be simple. I see Gary's name, and I'm going to open up another tool. I've done a video on teaching how to use this tool, but I'm going to show you something. I'm going to type in invited by, I'm going to go to Gary. I'm going to pick Gary Massari. Here he is down here. And then I'm going to click go. What this does is this shows me all the people that Gary has brought into the system, okay? And this is why he's elevated so high in our category of speakers, because he's contributed all of these people into Successful Thinkers Network. Now he does other things. He shows up, he's a speaker, he checks in, he refers business, he does a lot of things. But you can see rather easily why we actually are so excited about elevating Gary to the top to be found. And if you have to make a decision over 2 or 3 other speakers that speak in the same category, why not pick a speaker that has paid it forward and contributed to the growth of Successful Thinkers over someone who is just looking for a place to speak versus actually helping grow Successful Thinkers? Obviously, this is the choice of the ambassador, but it's something that we really believe at the corporate side that we should be promoting people from within Successful Thinkers that contribute to the growth of Successful Thinkers, which is the reason we all have chapters. It's the reason people come back. It's the reason brand new people come. It's because other people tell other people about Successful Thinkers Network. I forgot to show you one of the coolest tools that we have. By going to any of the speakers' bios, you can see an icon down here that says map. You click on it. It'll take you to a search field of all the speakers that are automatically within a 50-mile radius. If you click on this right here, you can choose to go all speakers, and it'll expand your search out. After all, speakers are willing to travel more than 50 miles. And so you can see you have a much bigger net, if you will, of speakers. So just so you can see the power of this map, I'm going to show you somebody up in Reno, for example, Dean Hankey, who's willing to travel upwards to 25,000 miles. So he could speak on his topic just about anywhere in the world. I just wanted to show you this tool so that you can get excited about the extra benefit of the map. This is what I wanted to show you. It's a very simple tool. Take advantage of it and enjoy saving time trying to find a speaker. Thank you.